When building something in your world, does it feel like you want to add more details? Or perhaps textures? Well, yes, texturing is one of the techniques for you to have an interesting details from your builds. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I do texturing, and we're gonna do texturing in building a house. You can start by practicing in Creative World by making your own block palette samples. You can make walls like I did in here. Try to start with flat walls where you are using the same solid block. Then I divided the walls into 2, 3, or 4 parts by changing some parts of the walls with other texture. In this part, I'm gonna show you how to apply this texturing technique in a building. I'm gonna make shape outline for a small cottage house, then fill them all up with the same block palette. I made 3 building elements here to start: stone bricks foundation, white wool walls, and spruce plank roofs. For the first part, we're going to work on the foundation. After we made our solid house, we can start texturing them. For the bottom part, we want to have some dark spots, so I use cobalt deep slate, mossy stones, and cobblestones, and also some tough blocks. Having some rusty stones texture would add more tiny beautiful details for your builds. Besides color combination, you can use the blocks variations such as stairs, slabs, and buttons. Moving on to the wall part, I want to have a light colored wall like the palette I use for the core SMP for the solar punk town. Yes, we have an official name now, Garden of the Sun. Thank you Blitz and Odo. So yeah, I decided to use stripped oak, stripped birch, and white walls. For the transition, we could also explore other materials, and we found smooth sandstone and calcite. We could actually use the wood variations like planks, but since this isn't a big and tall build, I think adding planks texture would make the build a bit too crowded, so I did not use any planks for the wall builds. For the roof, I want a dark colored roof, so I tried to use dark oak instead. But I want more texture, gray and brown terracotta. After making the solid roof, let's make the roof border and then texturing the roofs with dark oak planks variations. We can have some roof extensions and also overhangs, so I use campfire and spruce planks since they both have similar colors. If you want some lush cottage feels, you can replace some of the roofs with leaves. I like dark oak leaves mostly, but you can also combine some other leaves types to make it rich. Now, of course, we also need to build the windows. I simply use the regular glass blocks and glass panes. And also, don't forget the overhang because it adds a nice detail for the windows. And then I thought I need a fireplace. I have not built a fireplace for a long time, so I almost forgot about it. And here's some quick time lapse of me doing some interior works. The key with landscaping for me is just be free. Go with the flow, don't use too many grid and organized designs. Since it's natural, it has dynamic and organic shapes. Since this is the flat world, I need to make my own environment. So I imagine the house is located near the forest with a little pond, a small farmland, and some flowers around them. I started the landscaping work with making mini hills, then I grew different variations of trees such as giant spruce, dark oak, and birch. And don't forget to bone meal them, bone meal all of them, and bone meal the ground as well. For the pathing, I like to use grass path, and since it has similar color to oak planks, I also use them for the texturing. For farm, you can be creative with the water spots. You can use stairs like this and make the farmland not really gridded. Then, we also need fences. I imagine the fences with stone walls. But we can also use stone blocks variations like the ones we use for the foundations. This also works for pond and your flower garden. For flowers, I like to bone meal the ground. But since we won't get some flower variations like the tall ones, we need to place them one by one. I like to raise the dirt by 1 or 2 blocks so we can have some higher flowers. Last touch is lights. We can use lanterns, but if not, here's some trick. Make 1 block holes around the ground, put torches, and place moss carpet on top. And now, let's take a final look for the built-in shaders.